Okay, I'm joined now by Dave Ondrusek. He is the new coach at Hempfield. You're taking over for one of your friends, longtime coach Doug Bailey. Does it help? Obviously, it helps, but how much does it help you being here for so long, knowing the guys, having a son on the team? How was the transition coming in?
I think it was very easy transition coming in, knowing the guys and knowing everybody with actually even the freshman class, having worked with the elementary program, you were able to see how these guys developed from when they first started playing to where they're at right now. And it's easy because I have a personal relationship, obviously, with each and every one of them, so that it's they know me, I know them, they know my expectations, and I know what their expectations are. So it actually went for a very easy transition.
Your son is a senior on the team. He's a returning all-league. He's a really good player is the point I'm getting to. How different is it being the head coach and having Michael as a player? And he can kind of be a knucklehead sometimes, things like that. How different was that, or how much getting used to it for both of you had to go on?
Well, it's something that we had to address at the beginning of the year, and it was one of those things where it's, he understands now that when we're on the field, I'm the coach. When we're at home, I'm his dad. And that's something that actually we've gone through his entire career, that, when I'm the coach, I'm the coach, and when I'm your dad. And it's been very easy for him and I to get along with that type of relationship. So it's been very prosperous, and I'm just glad for his success.
Your nickname is the White Wizard. I heard, I think it was Spencer say it last year at the District All-Star Banquet. What is the origin of that, and why do you have that?
That's Spencer, and he originated, I believe, that night. But they always refer to it. I guess it's because of the white hair, and it's always the White Wizard, because I've always been one that's tried to help them develop their games, and I try and explain things and try to let them understand through concepts of what they do, and I think it's worked out very well, and that's where they come up with the White Wizard. So.
This team, very talented, of course, back-to-back league championships, defending district championships. Most of the offense is back. Most of the defense isn't back. Talk about the the comparative between what you have back on offense, which is great, but there's not so much back as far as experience on defense. How, as a coach, do you go about the early part of the season figuring that out?
Well, obviously we had to go through a tryout session, and we evaluate all players on a daily basis. We have some nice, talented freshmen that have come up. We have some gentlemen that played JV last year that have actually stepped up their game, and actually we're trying to fill in with some people that were second line defenders last year. John Black in goal is a very stalwart goalie. I mean, he's for as little time as he's been a goalie, he's actually been a very good goalie, and he's coming out. So, it's always tough to replace a Charlie Pease, but you know what? I think John Black's going to step into his shoes and do as well as Charlie did. I think that Nick Best and Josh Beals. Josh Beals was our sole returning starter from last year, but Nick Best and actually we have a couple of other sophomores. Seth Fackler and freshman Zach Wenzel that are actually going to help fill in those spots on defense. And and I say, like you say, we lost 12 seniors. Hard to replace 12 seniors, but we're working every day to do that.
There's the new schedule. There's no longer two sections. It's just one league basically. So you don't get townships and the Warwicks and the Penn Manors twice. Some of those teams actually, when you get them once, you get them at the end of the season. Does that help at all, having a township at the end of the season rather than the beginning of the season as you figure things out defensively?
We try to augment our schedule by adding two teams from Pittsburgh. To Seneca Valley and Upper St. Clair, which have always been very good rivals for us. So we try and get that, and we have Easton at the beginning of the season, which has always been a good rival too. So very good high caliber programs that we can actually start gauging ourselves with. And having a township of a Warwick at the end of the season, well, you hope you're not banged up. You hope that you hope you're healthy. You hope that they're healthy so that you can get their best game and we can give them our best game. I think that by having it just once in the year, I mean, you always like to have that rematch, and I think that from whatever standpoint, but we play with what the rules are and trying to do our best at it.
But you'll probably have that rematch at least one or two other times in the postseason, so that will probably end up playing out. State of the LL League. Last year, I think the LL League hit just great heights as far as Hempfield winning the district championship, and then a team like Township beating a Philly school in the state playoffs. And then the league was kind of rocked a bit in the off season with some kind of I don't know how to put it, but the Doug Bailey no longer at Hempfield, the Richland Fever no longer at Township. Neither situation happened on the up and up. But this year, you come in as a new coach. The league has so many Division I players, I think probably the most ever. You have a former Hempfield player as a head coach at Township, probably the best Division I player we've ever had. What are your overall opinions of the LL League, where it's going, where it's been, and what we can expect for this area in the future?
Well, I think you mentioned it. I mean, we have a lot of Division I players that are actually in this senior group. I mean, we have two over at Township with Quint Miller and Robbie Wirtz are going at, actually three, Alex Bradbury going to Bucknell. And, there's a bunch of other kids that are playing. I mean, we've had guys like Pete DeLuca that's a starter at Jacksonville University. So it's actually picked up the league. I think that having the extent of and the growth of lacrosse in central Pennsylvania, and just even the LL League, our I hate to say it, but forefathers, Rich and Doug, but those guys were the guys that actually put everything together, and we're just trying to, build on that tradition. I mean, Kyle over at Kyle Weimer over at Township is trying to boost that program to the next level. I'm trying to boost the Hempfield program to the next level. I know Chris Schmell up at Warwick, Kenny Snyder down at Penn Manor. They're all looking to build their teams to get more and more guys to the next level. And I think with what we've got now and with the interest that we have in lacrosse in the area, you see, elementary programs just growing by leaps and bounds. And, it's just a great thing for the area just to hear not only LL League, but, hearing kids from other division, Mid-Penn and York going to top name schools too. The secret's out, as Terry Corcoran says.
Yeah. All right, Dave, a.k.a. the White Wizard, thank you very much. Good luck this season.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.